A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon keep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The dungeon labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
Presentation.
Welcome to Bristol. We are back on track here and ready to go. Round number 4 of the Dirt 200 special. It's the Banana Buck 75. A little inside baseball for those in the know in Turn 200 land, which could very well be you. Welcome aboard. Round number 4 of the Dirt 200 special. My name is Tommy Cook. We got all the action for you here tonight at the world's last great Coliseum. The half-mile NASCAR staple, scanned for dirt racing. And it will provide some good dirt racing, as it always does whenever we get a chance to showcase it on Turn 200. Normally a staple of the Venom Truck Series. Tonight, the Dirt 200 Special plays host to Round 4. Or rather, Bristol Motor Speedway plays host to Round number 4 of the Dirt 200 Special. Let's get you to the qualifying action as drivers are already out on the circuit. We'll pull up on Josh Heggie here, who has got one lap in the books and about to put lap number 2 up on the board. 14 drivers signed in at the moment. As we say hello to Garrett Rainey in the chat and say hello to anybody else that may be hanging out with us here. And Heggie with provisional pole at the moment. We'll hop over to Greg Johnson, who is coming to the green flag, as is James Lehman. No Joshua Matichek on the entry list here tonight, so Lehman will be looking for his second victory of the season, but he will definitely have some competition here tonight. Zach Emspacher is back in the confines of the Dirt 200 Special and here at Bristol Motor Speedway. He was fast in practice. Lehman was fast in practice. Opening lap for James Lehman will be 8th quickest provisionally. Greg Johnson will hop up to 4th fastest. Now Zach Amspacher will take over the 4th position. Amspacher on the podium in his first ever D2S race a couple of weeks ago at USA Dirt. James Lehman goes 5th quickest on his final lap. Amspacher jumps up to 2nd. 1/100th of a second off the pace set by Josh Heggie. Welcome back, a driver that has not been on track in the Dirt 200 Special since the opening round at Knoxville. Matt Williamson, my broadcast partner, is out here giving it a go. He's the only driver out on track attempting to qualify. 11 drivers have posted a time. Williamson will be 12th. Chris Hazlip and Thad Countryman have yet to make an attempt. Williamson's opening lap 10th quickest at an 18:25. Williamson on the podium at Knoxville. Finished in the 3rd position to Joey Kirk and James Lehman, who are 1st and 2nd in the points coming into tonight. Williamson's second lap is slower, so it is only 10th quickest for Matt Williamson. As we got about a minute and a half until we get into the heat racing action. I want to remind everybody of some things to come. Round number 4 here tonight. 2 more races after this evening. Next Friday night, we will be at Lernerville. and then we'll take a week off for the holidays, I suppose. And then we will be back at Eldora to close things out for the first season of the Dirt 200 special. Some things upcoming on Turn 200. In the meantime, the Venom Truck Series chase continues on at Pocono next Tuesday night, 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. And Thursday night, the Max v. CNC Home Designs Truck Series Championship race from Homestead Miami Speedway, ahead of action at Lernerville for Dirt 200 Special. That'll be Thursday at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Time. There's Chris Hazlip with his 2 qualifying laps in the books. He is 12th quickest out of 13 drivers to post a time. Does not look like Thad Countryman is in the session any longer, so that will give us 13 drivers for the last great Coliseum here at Bristol Motor Speedway. 15 seconds left to go. See if we get any surprise last-second entries. Don't foresee that happening, but you never know. Otherwise, we will roll with who we got. And this is a good group here this evening. And we'll put on a good show. A lot of drivers with stuff to prove, to say the very least. And could very well be looking at a first-time series winner here this evening. I know there are a lot of folks that would delight in the opportunity to win their first Dirt 200 special feature here this evening. Let's roll into tonight's starting lineup for heat race number 1. And the driver that will lead the field to green with the pole position tonight, that is the driver of the Red Dog Eminent Signs and Graphics, number 7 Ford F-150, the ASRL Sunday Oval Series champion Josh Heggie, leading the field to green. To his outside out of Frederick, Maryland, in the Old Mother Brewing Company, number 400 Chevy Silverado, he's the reigning Venom Truck Series champion, Matt Schlosser, the Schlossassen, on the outside front row. Row 2 on the inside in truck number 150, Greg Johnson will start in the third spot in a Ford F-150. To his outside is Mladen Lakovic, our Serbian friend, driving the Jess TV at number 106 Ford F-150. Row number 3 on the inside is the driver out of New York, in the Drip Dice Cast and Collectibles, number 94 Ford F-150. That is Nicholas Pressey. To his outside, the hard charger in the last feature out of Caramel, Indiana, and the press start Player One Esports Team Watson Racing, number 24 Ford F-150. That is Stephen C. Thompson. And rounding out the field for heat race number 1 out of Trenton, New Jersey, in the Pure Energy Cycling StickerRobot.com, number 613 Chevy Silverado. That is Colin McDonough. 7 drivers, 10 laps, our opening heat race of the night here at Bristol Motor Speedway. The Banana Bucks 75 is what everybody is chasing after here tonight. Matt Schlosser has yet to post a win in the Dirt 200 Special Series, but he does have a win here at Bristol Motor Speedway with the Venom Truck Series, and he beat Joshua Matichek to get that victory. That is a very impressive marker, or a feather in the cap, if you will, of Driver 400, so he knows how to wheel and deal here at Bristol. Best finish for Schlosser this season was in the season opener at Knoxville, where he finished in 5th. Josh Heggie with the quick time here tonight. He has a best season finish of 6th at the Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55. They make up row number 1. Greg Johnson in Milan Lakovic, an international row number 2. Johnson, the Canadian, Lakovic, the Serbian. Nicholas Pressey and Stephen C. Thompson on row 3, and Colin McDonough shotgun on the field for the opening heat race of 2 this evening at Bristol. Green flag is out, and we are underway. Heggie with a hole shot. Schlosser in second, but he will get right underneath of Heggie as Heggie gets a little bit wide there. And the Schloss boss takes the opening lap here. Heggie in tow. Greg Johnson in 3rd. Milan Lakovic in 4th. Heggie trying to find an answer back here to get back on the point. 8 laps to go, and Heggie losing the nose, and up into the wall he goes. This will open the door now for Greg Johnson to challenge for second. Johnson sent it a little deep and nowhere for Lakovic to go. Sends Johnson around. Stephen T. Thompson piles in. No cautions in the heats, so we are still green. Johnson heads to the tail of the field. Nicholas Pressey, through all that, will move up into the third position. Youch. And a big shot there for Stephen C. Thompson as well. Gotta love the heat racing format, just absolutely killing our SDK gaming bug for no reason. Halfway home in the opening heat race of the night. It would be standard procedure for Joshua Matichek to have an EOL in his heat race, but he is not here tonight. Now that I think about it, of course this is a common problem in a lot of our leagues, but Garrett Rainey very well could have been talking about Matt Schlosser, not Matt Williamson. I think either way he's right. But if he entered as a dark horse, he is a dark horse no longer, because he has taken it to the field here in heat race number 1. Only challenge for position right now is Milan Lakovic trying to get back up to third with Nicholas Pressey in sight. As Schlosser leads, Heggie second, Pressey in third, Lakovic in fourth, Colin McDonough rides in the fifth position, Stephen C. Thompson is back at sixth, Greg Johnson still running in the seventh and final position. Nothing to worry about up front. 1 lap to go for the Schloss boss. Not only the Schloss boss, but the boss of it all. Here in special stage, to the checkered flag, Matt Schlosser with the win in heat race number 1. Josh Hagee will finish in second, Nicholas Pressey in third, fourth for Milan Lakovic, fifth place goes to Colin McDonough, sixth place to Stephen C. Thompson, and Greg Johnson in the seventh and final position. So with that, we'll pray that our overlays continue to kind of work, as they often choose not to do. And we'll give you the starting lineup here for heat race number 2. He just hopped in the chat, and we'll call out his name plenty here this evening, I'm sure. But the driver that will lead the field to green is in the TG Power Sports number 22 Toyota Tundra. That is Zach Amspacher. Lining up to his outside, he enters tonight second in the points standings. Driving the Wonder Bread number 37 Ford F-150, that is Joey Kirk. Row 2 on the inside, winner of round 1 at Knoxville is the driver on Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, in the Maximum Velocity Racing League number 50 Chevy Silverado, that is James Lehman. To his outside is the driver out of Hackett, Arkansas, in the Northern Designs number 8 Chevy Silverado, Gary Clark, starting in the 4th position. Row 3 on the inside at Hannah City, Illinois, in the Turn 200 Busch Light Jack's Pizza number 199 Ford F-150, Matt Williamson, starting in 5th. To his outside will be the driver out of the South, I do believe, because he's got a Winn-Dixie paint scheme on, number 54 Ford F-150 of Chris Hazlett. And Thad Countryman scheduled to start in the final position. He is a scratch for the night, seemingly. We'll see if he does re-meticulate as the course of the evening goes along. Amspacher named the Special Stage Driver of the Month. Did his performances in the various goings-on here at Special Stage. They got the Pro Truck League right now, a couple of special events, and of course the smash hit debut, where he got up front very quickly and went toe-to-toe with not only his teammate Tom Monheimis, but also with Joshua Matichek. Joey Kirk entering the night about 30 points behind James Lehman, who is caddy corner to him. Lehman currently the points leader in the Maximum Velocity Racing League heading into their season finale next Thursday night, and currently leads the points in this series as well. Green flag. Heat race number 2. Not a good start there for Gary Clark. He heads straight to the back and pins Chris Hazlett behind him. Side by side for the lead, Kirk on the top side, Amspacher underneath, and they go at it here. Kirk around the top, maybe just a Scotia contact there, and Kirk leads the opening lap. Amsbacher not going away, trying to stick it to the bottom. James Lehman rides in third, Matt Williamson in fourth, Gary Clark and Chris Hazlip the rest of the running order as Amsbacher loses a little bit of ground on the bottom, and Joey Kirk now is off and running. Yep, still not working. It'll fix itself for the feature. It always does. Lehman now, as Amsbacher is trying to catfish the bottom here. Lehman's going to take advantage, roll right up on that very young cushion on the top side. It is just starting to firm up a little bit, or rather starting to build up. So say hello to Robin Modicek in the chat. Lehman digging hard up top as Kirk a little bit sideways. Lehman has got it more straightened out. A good drive down the front stretch. He's got it at the line by a nose, or will have it at the line by a nose down the front stretch here. Halfway mark in heat race number 2, or final heat of the night, and Lehman is the new leader. Kirk is back to second, Amsbacher in third. Matt Williamson sort of riding on his own island for now in fourth. Gary Clark is trying to track him down in the fifth position. And Chris Hazlip currently in the sixth and final running position. Laps to go. Joey Kirk half a second behind. Lehman is still putting together good laps here. Kirk, it's weird because it gets flattened out there on the bottom. It almost feels like you're on some kind of a curve. Not a curb, but a curve. Weird to try and pitch it down to the bottom, but you'll see a lot of drivers make their way down there as the night rolls along. Lehman leading with a lap and a half to go in our final heat race of the night, and now make it a lap to go. Starting to lose track of the straightaways. Lehman goes wide, but Kirk is not close enough to capitalize. As James Lehman will put the right rear up on the cushion and get some bite down the front stretch and crash to take the checkers. Joey Kirk in second, Zach Amsbacher in third. Oh, dear. Matt Williamson upside down in fourth. Gary Clark in fifth, and Chris Hazlip in the sixth and final position. Preliminary action is concluded. We'll have a 75-lap feature on the way on the other side of the break here. It's the Dirt 200 Special from Bristol Motor Speedway on Turn 200.
A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The dungeon labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
presentation.
Welcome back to Turn 200's coverage of the Dirt 200 special here at Bristol Motor Speedway. The Banana Bucks 75 is on the way from the last great Coliseum. A reminder, Dirt 200 special coverage continues next Friday night from Lernerville. We'll be at the Big Bull next Friday night, usual start time of 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Venom Truck Series Chase continues at Pocono next Tuesday night at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time, and the Max V Championship Race next Thursday night at Homestead Miami Speedway. It's a look at the next 3 nights of racing that we've got for you here on Turn 200. The warm-up is finishing up, and we are about ready to go for a 75-lap feature here tonight at Bristol Motor Speedway. The Banana Bucks 75 will roll to the green like this. Leading the field to green. He's out of Frederick, Maryland, in the Old Mother Brewing Company, number 400 Chevy Silverado. That is Matt Schlosser, the reigning Venom Truck Series champion. Starting to his outside, the current Max V Truck Series points leader and the current points leader of this series out of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, the Maximum Velocity Racing League, number 50 Chevy Silverado of James Lehman. Row 2 on the inside, and the Red Dog, Eminent Signs and Graphics, number 7, Ford F-150. That is Josh Hagee. Starting to his outside, driving the Wonder Bread, number 37, Ford F-150, Joey Kirk on the outside of row number 2. Row 3 on the inside of the New York City in the Drip Diecast and Collectibles, number 94, Ford F-150. That is Nicholas Pressey. And to his outside, driving the TG Power Sports, number 22, Toyota Tundra. That is Zach Amsbacher. Row 4 on the inside of the Serbia, driving the Jess TV number 106 Ford F-150. That is Mladen Lankovic. To his outside of the Hannah City, Illinois, driving the Turn 200 Busch Light Jack's Pizza number 199 Ford F-150 of Matt Williamson. Row 5 on the inside of the Trenton, New Jersey, the Pure Energy Cycling StickerRobot.com number 613 Chevy Silverado of Colin McDonough. Is outside of Hackett, Arkansas, in the Northern Designs, number 8 Chevy Silverado of Gary Clark. Stevie T. Thompson in truck number 24 to Carmel, Indiana, to the inside of the 54 of Chris Hazlip and the 150 of Greg Johnson. The rest of tonight's starting lineup. 75 laps around Bristol Motor Speedway on the way for the Dirt 200 special. Matt Schlosser, currently the points leader in the Venom Truck Series chase, the reigning Venom Truck Series champion. James Lehman, currently the Dirt 200 special points leader, currently the Max V Truck Series championship leader, and has won a special stage race here at Dirt Bristol before. They're on row 1. Josh Hagee and Joey Kirk, high in the points both. On row number 2, Kirk second in the standing coming into tonight, needs to finish in front of this 50 truck to start clawing back some points. It's going to be a fun night here tonight at Bristol. Thank you for coming along. Matt Schlosser, James Lehman, Josh Hagee, and Joey Kirk are cocked, locked, and ready to rock. We are underway. Schlosser already having to fight hard. Kirk lockstep on the bottom. Lehman on the top side. Lap 1 is in the books. Here comes Lehman with a big head of steam. Schlosser shuts the door down low. Riding on board with Joey Kirk. As Lehman again is going to take it to the top rope here, looking to generate a big run down the front stretch and take it to the inside of Schlosser once again. No, this time he'll stick it to the outside. And Schlosser is going to have to look for some momentum down low. He's got just enough. Running the bottom is what got him the win in the Venom Truck Series here last season when he beat Joshua Matacek after tracking him down from way downtown. Lehman putting that right rear awfully close to the cushion, and it's getting him a good run through the middle of the track. James Lehman will take the lead on lap number 4. Schlosser playing a little bit of the long game here. Still working the bottom. Joey Kirk now is going to move up to the top side. Gets that right rear up in the fluff just a bit, and Schlosser should be clear to move up into the second position outright, but Kirk is not done. If he can keep it a little bit tidier, I think that'll be a good opportunity for him to get up into this second position. Listen to the throttle work. Watch him work this wheel. Now dives it down to the bottom. See, Schlosser able to straighten out there in the middle of the corner, whereas Kirk was still hanging it out just a bit. Schlosser using the flat of what would be the apron in the normal track to help sort of level him out, straighten him out in the middle of the corner. Kirk did that for a couple of corners and said, I've had enough. I'm going back topside. So as these two continue to sort of work each other over, just as I say that, oh man, big shot to the wall there for Schlosser. Flush on the door. And this might allow Joey Kirk to get through. Lehman just had an issue, though. He was 7/10 checked out, and that gap got cut in half. But with the touch of the wall there for Schlosser, all ground gained was lost, and now the second position is gone for the Schloss boss as well, as Joey Kirk is up to second. Oh, Josh Hagee, way out of shape. It said he was coming to pit road. That's how far down the track he was. This is going to put him in jeopardy of Zach Amsbacher and Matt Williamson, who are approaching quickly. Hagee running in fourth, Amsbacher in fifth, and Williamson in the sixth position. Let's take a peek back up at your leader. There's James Lehman. Joey Kirk is starting to run him down just a bit. That gap is back down to half a second. There's Ant Maperson in the chat. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, they are looking a little bit rigid for sure. I'm sure Matt Schlosser is hoping that they are pretty rigid. He's taken a couple of shots there to the outside wall. More notifications that drivers are moving on to pit road. That is indeed not the case. Look at Milan Lakovic here coming on strong. He's through on Matt Williamson, and now he was working on a pass on Zach Amsbacher, but now we'll have to finish off Williamson first as Amsbacher's into the wall. Williamson riding the wall. Lakovic seems to have a better handle on his truck right now than some of the drivers that are around him. Biggest mover of the race right now, Greg Johnson, who, remember, was running in second in his heat when he had some contact that sent him into the last position of heat race number 1. So he is up 5 to 8th here with 15 laps complete, 60 laps to go. Lehman riding the wall big time, and here comes Joey Kirk through to the lead. Lehman is going to have to try and reestablish some momentum here very quickly, and he's done just that. Nice crossover move with good momentum from the top side, and Lehman is back on point. But Kirk is still here, and he's brought company with him. Matt Schlosser will have a great view of this. Oh, has to check up just a bit as Kirk is showing a lot of left side door there. Lehman down to the bottom. You can see Schlosser is almost driving it straight there. I don't think anybody's really loving either the handle on the truck or the track conditions here. I'll tell you this much, track conditions are not going to get better. It is going to get rubbered up here in a hurry. Nicholas Pressey just had some kind of an issue. He's dropped back into 11th. Matt Williamson still trying to fend off Greg Johnson. I think Johnson is about to make his way through. See how hard Matt is going to fight. He's got 7th for now. We'll see if he can continue to hang on. Meanwhile, here's Schlosser. stalking his prey. Still committing to the bottom. Top three all bunched together. Kirk going to combo a nice bit of momentum into a look underneath of Lehman. Unfortunately, that's going to put him in jeopardy of getting overtaken as he shuts the door on Schlosser. This is not the biggest track that Dirt 200 Special goes to, but it is certainly, with the 20 degrees of banking, the fastest. Kirk using every square inch of the track here, walls included. Trying to pound the boards here to get by James Lehman once again. Lehman, if you follow along on Thursday nights, is fresh off of surgery last week. He said he was uncertain about racing in Max V. I would think that this would be incredibly taxing. Working this wheel, it was arm surgery. And it is certainly being put to the test right now. There are no two ways about it. Don't look now, but Josh Hagee is lingering in the background here as these top three continue to nip away at each other. Oh, we've got a problem. Gary Clark has just crashed. He's there on the front stretch, trying to pick a spot to get turned around, and I don't think he's going to. He will jump to the pits, and that will be the end of the race. No caution. Meanwhile, Kirk and Schlosser nearly coming together, but Kirk has got a head of steam here, and he's looking to go topside on Lehman once again. Top four in the picture. Great race thus far at Bristol. We are not done. Not by a long shot. Not too far away from hitting some lap traffic. Kirk again, gonna go down low. Lehman straightens himself off the wall. And that would have been a photo finish for the last lap. Lehman reclaiming the lead though. Good placement thus far for Lehman. He's had an answer to everything that Kirk has thrown at him. Just hasn't been able to pull away. Looks like Nicholas Pressey has made his way onto pit road. That might be the end of the race for driver 94. Look at that. Hagee up to third. They were nose to tail down the front stretch, or rather down the back stretch. Lap chart coming up here is Chris Hazlip, and he is right in Lehman's path. Kirk can't answer, though, down low. Lehman is going to have to get to the bottom. Hazlip doing what he needs to do as Lehman up into the wall. 3 wide behind him and side by side for the lead. The two top drivers in the point standings are throwing haymakers here at Bristol. Not even halfway. These drivers are dogging each other. Hagee in the Red Dog Ford F-150. And Schlosser trying to get third back. I mean, look at this. Imagine having to see this out of your mirror all race long. Oh. Big run here for Kirk. Finds a little ground underneath. Oh, man, that's a hard shot. And he's not off the wall yet. And that cost him about half a second. Y'all fast. Yeah. I have to agree. These guys are going wild, that's for sure. Even though that was about a 0.7 of a second gap, the biggest of the race, Kirk is already clawing his way back in, especially with Lehman getting up into the wall there. That brings Kirk within a truck length. And he's brought Heggie with him. And Schlosser's right here too, nearly 4 under a blanket for the lead. Here's Kirk again to the inside. Shoots it down low. And Joey Kirk is on point again. We'll see if Lehman can answer. This might be the first time that Kirk has had the lead outright this race. If he can sustain this pass, Heggie and Lehman making contact. Lehman's still fighting for the lead. Offense and defense simultaneously. Heggie taking a big run right to the tailgate of Kirk. As we say hello to Joshua Monacek in the chat. Gotta be loving this. Schlosser looming in the background as Heggie's had a great drive up from way back to put himself in the mix. Greg Johnson still continuing to be the hard charger. He just passed Zach Amspacher to take over the 5th position. But Johnson is 5 seconds behind, rather 7 seconds behind this battle for the lead. Heggie gonna send it, looking for a slider. He finds a door instead, and Kirk motors around to hang on to the top spot for now. Kirk again into the wall. Heggie again coming with a big run. This is what we had in mind when we started this mini-series. These 3 drivers are throwing everything at the wall, literally, and seeing what sticks. And if it all goes wrong for him, Matt Schlosser is still plenty close to capitalize. He's only a 1/4 of a second behind. But Josh Heggie leading his first Dirt 200 special laps as Kirk and Lehman go back to battling. Now, what they have to hope for is that Heggie maybe used his stuff up a little bit, as Colin McDonough is slowed there down the front stretch to let the leaders go by. But so far, Heggie has pulled away 0.7 of a second. This is about the biggest gap that we've seen all night as Kirk and Lehman continue to slip and slide around. Heggie is set and sail. We mentioned Greg Johnson and Zach Amspacher a moment ago. Amspacher is fighting back to take this spot away, and Amspacher is back into the top 5. Matt Williamson is caught back up here as well after letting Johnson through a couple of tens of laps ago. So these guys ride 5th, 6th, and 7th. And oh, Johnson turns Amspacher. And the caution is out with 25 laps to go. And boy, does that change everything. My, oh my. 1/4 century mark remaining on the board. A first caution of the night in the battle for 5th. Johnson trying to run the middle, straightens it out as Amspacher is sideways. So Amspacher going much slower. Johnson, I'm sure, trying to tuck in behind him, didn't realize just quite how slow Amspacher was there. Let's go on board with Johnson as he It's trying to bring the back end of this truck around, and it just straightens out. And at that point, it is almost better just to get into the quarter panel there. But that is not the result that either of them wanted, of course. And I'm sure they're not going to be too happy about it. Just a guess. Stephen C. Thompson down pit road. Of course, you cannot take fuel or change tires. So that is strictly for damage. This looks so fun. Thanks to Ibanez Pat for hanging out with us. Yes, this is quite fun. The NASCAR trucks on dirt is a sneaky good combo. They don't do it in real-life NASCAR anymore, unfortunately. I wish they would. That is not the popular fan consensus. But I wish they would. It's a blast. We at least get to live out the glory days of it here on iRacing. And this is quite exemplary. This is the best racing we've seen all season. Very, very good. And it's not over yet. Double file we go at the stripe. Lights are off on the pace truck. Josh Heggie in the 7 truck is going to elect the outside. Joey Kirk will be down low. It will be James Lehman starting in 3rd. Matt Schlosser in the 4th position. Matt Williamson, through virtue of the contact, is up to 5th. Zach Amspacher will at least get the 6th position back, start on the outside of row number 3. Greg Johnson, Milan Lakovic, and Stephen C. Thompson, the 9 drivers on the lead lap. The 11 drivers still running with Colin McDonough and Chris Hazlip running a lap down each. 21 to go at the stripe. Heggie firing at the last second. We're back underway, and that is going to get this field all out of sorts. Heggie will get a big run here, but maybe not big enough. Kirk keeping it tidy down low. He'll go for the slider, and Heggie crosses him right back. Tight quarters. Oh, man, thought he was walking that right into the door. Kirk late on the throttle there, trying to wait for this truck to catch up. Also trying to position himself defensively against Matt Schlosser. Schlosser up to 3rd, Lehman back to 4th. Kirk just a little bit lower than Heggie, trying to find anything he can underneath the 7 rather than rooting him up off the wall. Oh, Heggie around! Kirk finishes him off. Caution is out. Amspacher involved as well. Kirk was just trying to keep it throttled up there. And Heggie showed him the left rear quarter panel, and that changes everything as well. Oh, man. Caution number 2. In the closing laps here, cautions breed cautions. So Heggie putting that right rear right on the cushion, and Kirk's truck just straightens out on him. And again, at that point, just try and, if you know you're going to crash like Kirk just did, try and throttle up and clear a path for yourself at the expense of the driver you've already made contact for. But Kirk is really going to get the worst of this. Yeah, Tomatechek's point in the chat, that's one way for Schlosser to take over the lead. I do think Heggie is going to blend back into the lead, though, here. Because, I mean, it's a quick 360 for Heggie. He didn't really blend in, but he is leading right now behind the pace truck. So iRacing normally does not give the spot back, but in this case it is, which is very interesting. Let's go kick pot can here. Yeah. This track isn't quite as baked out as it can be, but certainly conditions are not favorable. I mean, Heggie busted out the biggest lead of the night before that caution. I think was an anomaly because nobody else has really been able to make up much time yet. These trucks are just so on the edge. It's impossible to lay down consistent times, especially having to be on defense at the same time. It's just tough sledding out there. So Heggie regains the lead. Will again elect the outside. Matt Schlosser now in a prime position to capitalize. Zach Amspacher with some damage from the contact with Joey Kirk. Rides on the outside of row number 2. James Lehman to his inside. Greg Johnson and Matt Williamson on row number 3. 13 laps to go at Bristol. It's been a banger thus far. How will it finish? Better start for Heggie this time. We'll still have some work to do, though. Schlosser. Oh, man, Lehman just barely got to his inside there. May have compromised his entry just a bit, but he's still going after it down low. Nearly 3 wide there for a second for third. Zach Amspacher is moving into position. As Heggie now leading by a couple of truck lengths. See if he can maintain that advantage. Oh, Lehman straightens out and rolls out of it. Not to pile into Amspacher, who has been through a lot already, missing the right rear, or rather the right front wheel well on that truck. Schlosser still riding. A truck length ahead. Boy, that was a tight slider there for Lehman. As Amspacher has lost the hood on that truck. It just flew up over the windshield. Oh, dear. Heggie into the wall. Was making time on Schlosser. Not any longer. As, yeah, Amspacher needs some hood pins. Stat. Look at this, James Lehman. Working around the top side, looking to take second back, and he's got it. Lehman is on a mission right now. There have only been 2 winners in 3 races. Lehman took the season opener at Knoxville, and he wants to keep the win list short. Heggie's going to have to play some stern defense here. Oh, slides up right in the 50s path. You only get one of those from Lehman. Next time, he's probably going to send you. They both migrate to the top side. They're 0.7 of a second clear on Matt Schlosser. And there's the shot. Lehman with a bump. Question the intentions of the last 2 contacts that brought out a caution. There was no question in that one. Five to go. Schlosser moving back into the picture. Greg Johnson is in 4th. If it all goes awry. 4 to go. Lehman down low. Heggie into the wall. Still with good enough drive to hold on to the lead. Laps are ticking away. 3 to go. Lehman tantalizingly close to a second win. Heggie in spitting distance of his first. Lehman looking for drive down low. Got a run, but not enough. to make up for the ground lost. 2 to go. Both of these drivers using the wall, trying to get good runs off the boards. White flag is out at Bristol. 1 more lap to go. Josh Heggie having to play defense against James Lehman. They're both right in the wall. Heggie can't get it off. Side by side, they touch. Lehman sends a dagger. Heggie with a run. Can he get anywhere? No! Lehman steals it on the final lap. What a finish, Heggie. Oh. So much contact there through 1 and 2. We couldn't get the truck off the wall. Comes with a big run, and Lehman had positioned himself just well enough to hold off Josh Heggie and steal his second win in the Dirt 200 Special. What a race. Matt Schlosser will round out the podium. Ouch. Yeah, get you a pavement burnout, too. Well, Garrett Rainey, I just read your message. I also don't see you, so that would have been hard. I'm glad you enjoyed it, though, and hard not to. That was awesome. What a great race. We've had 3 dominant victories this season. There was nothing dominant about that one. There were 4, 5, 6 drivers that could have won this one here tonight, and they all fought for it hard. And the Ilmore power plant about to go up for the 50 of Lehman. We got to see that final lap one more time. We haven't had many late race replays that we could have taken this season, but we got to see this one. So here's Heggie. Lehman into the wall pretty hard there. Still able to maintain. So we're on the white flag lap. Heggie's going to get sucked up into the wall here, and it's just going to grab him. There's no worse feeling than that, especially on the final lap. Now he's just looking for a big run and a crossover here, but Lehman is going to mirror drive him perfectly. Fakes it high, pulls it down low, and that's just enough to keep Heggie at bay. And James Lehman will just barely eke out his second win of the season. And that was fantastic stuff. Let's take a look at the full finishing rundown after 75 exhilarating laps here tonight at Bristol. Oh, yeah. Helps when the music is unmuted. To the finishing order we go. James Lehman with the win. Josh Heggie will finish in second. Matt Schlosser in third. We'll hopefully talk to all 3 of these gentlemen in just a moment. Fourth place to Greg Johnson. That is the series best. Zach Amsbacher will round out the top 5. 6 for Stephen C. Thompson. Joey Kirk will claw his way back up to 7th at the end. Milan Lokovic in 8th. Matt Williamson in 9th. Colin McDonough will finish in the 10th position. 11th for Chris Hazlett. And then DNFs for Nicholas Pressey and Gary Clark. That countryman is a DNS. Okay. I mean, not much else to say other than this was a hell of a race, and it's great to get to talk to the boss man at the end of the night, the Schloss boss, the Schlossassassin. Other names. Matt Schlosser will finish in third. But welcome back to the booth, and good to talk to you on a Friday night here. Man, you were wheeling and dealing all race.
Yeah, I liked my chances. I felt pretty good wrapping the bottom down there, but as I went on, the top got a little bit stronger. Those guys were working the cushion, and I wasn't quite as good up there. I kind of put all my eggs in the bottom basket, hoping to save tire and maybe win on an endurance run. But nothing wrong with the podium behind 2 of the fastest guys out here, so I'll take it.
I mean, you won the Venom Truck Series race here a couple of seasons ago. Of course, changes to the truck, different weather conditions as well, but and also a different number of trucks in the field. Any number of variables that have kind of made this track race a little bit different than it did a couple of seasons ago with Venom. But are you surprised maybe that the bottom wasn't as prevalent as it was in that race?
Yeah, I was hoping it would be as prevalent. I was a little surprised, but from what I understand about kind of what you said about the variables with dirt racing, I mean, it's going to be a little bit of a different track every time when you've got temperature and different numbers of trucks and different setups and whatnot. And yeah, it was. I just needed to adapt a little better to the top. I think. But all in all, it definitely panned out okay. And it was a blast. I mean, at one point there was 4 of us all swapping positions and going for the lead, and that was so cool. So definitely a great product, I think, tonight. So hats off to you and Joshua for tinkering on the setup and the format and getting everything lined up the way it is.
Anybody else you want to thank here?
Yeah, shout out to everybody who came out tonight. Congrats to James Lehman and Joshua Hagee for the podium. Shout out to Garrett Rainey for doing some race control. Yeah, that's about it.
Alrighty, partner. Thanks for the time. Thanks for the race as well. That was a lot of fun, and we'll hope to talk to you again Tuesday night at Pocono.
Yeah, and thank you for the for synthesizing this idea, because this was your brainchild. So wouldn't be here without you. So thanks.
Appreciate it, partner. We'll talk to you again Tuesday. Alrighty. It's been a while since we talked to this gentleman, but it's always good to have Josh Hagee in the booth at the end of the night. We'll come home with a runner-up position and a hard-fought one at that. Congratulations and welcome back to the podium. I would imagine probably a little bit disappointed, but man, that was a hell of a battle there to close out this race.
Yeah, it was fun. I was just kind of hanging back there in, I don't know, 4th or 5th, and I don't know if they get away from me. And I couldn't really find any ground on them, and I finally, about lap 20, I started using that cushion up top and was able to find a lot of time. I was catching them really quick, and then I did that for about 20 laps. Like lap 45 or so, I started hitting the wall, and it was getting a lot more risky to take that cushion. These trucks are a little bit longer than I think a lot of the times getting up there. So sometimes I wouldn't even get the rear end to whip around, and if you get to like check up and get it out of oversteer, it's just like you might as well just get out of the throttle and roll around. But I was happy that I was even able to find anything at all to get some pace to catch back up. So, I
mean, that certainly was. It was an impressive drive to get yourself up into the mix there as the top 3 continued to battle. This truck, compared to the truck a couple of weeks ago at USA, a lot more stable in the straightaways. But I don't know if it was the setup or the track, but man, it seemed very hard to have consistent corners. I mean, that had to help a lot, finding a place that you were comfortable on the track to actually be able to make up some ground, because nobody looked very comfortable out there for a long time.
It was something I would have done different, was maybe around the middle or the bottom line every now and then, because it hooks up, you whip it around that top and it hits that cushion. Sometimes, especially after a pace lap, like tires are cooling off. It wanted to hook up really bad, and I couldn't even get the thing to turn or get into like oversteer. So yeah, and then I go on the bottom and it'd be so damn slick, then I'd be doing a 360 almost, and that's the only thing I'd probably do different. But this group of guys has been fun to race with this season, and a lot of these guys I've raced with for a while now. So I thank them. Yeah,
and it's been a lot of fun to have you out here battling all through the field this season. It's been great to have you out here. Is there anybody else you want to thank or say hi to while we got you up here?
Too many to name. I think a lot of those people know who they are. I don't make myself hard to find around here, but thanks for taking the time, and everybody else taking the time to look for an improvement, try to make yourself better. That's always good.
Absolutely, partner. Thanks for the time here tonight. Don't be a stranger the rest of the season. Look forward to talking to you again here soon.
One last thing.
Absolutely.
Enjoy your holidays, everybody.
Absolutely.
Make it a good one.
All right, James Lehman is up here for the second time as a Dirt 200 special victor. And boy, that was a hell of a race.
Oh yeah, man, it was a really good day battling with all four of them at one point. That was a lot of fun.
Do you still have all your limbs attached?
I do. I do. My right arm definitely got to work out, because I can't be using my left too much right now. So
Yeah, that was my concern when I saw you roll in here. I was like, well, he's going to be fast, but at what cost? But I mean, you're going to have to talk me through here because you were leading. You dropped as far back, I think, as fourth. A little bit of goings on there to help that. But then all of a sudden, from as far back as you've been all night, you just shot out of a cannon there in the final 10 laps. I mean, did you find something there? Did everybody else lose something? What was going on there towards the end of the race?
So like this is one of the rare tracks where you actually lose tire wear on these trucks. So you actually have to manage your stuff a little bit. And I realized me ripping the top so much, I was going to lose. You're going to lose a lot of tire wear. So then I made the decision to drop to the bottom and run the bottom. And I knew it was going to come at a cost of me possibly losing the lead. But then the cautions came around and I was like, oh, okay, I don't have to save as much. So and then once I realized it was time to go, it was time to go. But then I kept jumping the cushion and getting into the wall. So it definitely was a challenge for sure.
Once we get to those final, I think 7 or 8 laps, when you're able to break free of Matt Schlosser, you and Heggie are, placing your trucks very defensively in good positions. I know he fouled you a couple of sliders and sort of parked it in front of you a couple of times. You gave him a couple of shots back. You get the opportunity, though, on the last lap to sort of park it in front of him in the last couple of corners as well. I mean, that was excellent defensive positioning here in these full-body trucks.
Oh yeah, that was definitely. There was a lot of slide jobs back and forth, but you can only do that with so many people. Tongue tied over here. You can only do that with certain people that you race with, because some people they'll just flat out run you over. They're like, I don't care. And some they'll actually know how to counteract that defensive drive. So, and then I definitely did just slide it up right in front of him and parked it to win that race. So that was the only way. I think if he would have cut pretty hard left, he probably either would have cleared me or he would have just turned me into the wall, and he probably still would have got the win. So that was my only shot for sure.
Well, this was Screen to Checker, one of the best races that we've had, not just in the series. I mean, it's the best race that we've had in Dirt 200 Special, but it's one of the best races I think we've had on the channel all year. This was fantastic stuff, and you were in the thick of it all night. So before we let you go, Ice, we'll let you get your shout-outs in as usual.
Just thank you to Matt Schlosser for putting on this. This is a very cool series. I wish more people would show up for it because it's honestly a blast, and tonight's a prime example of it. Thank you guys, Tommy, for broadcasting Turn 200, and looking forward to next Thursday for the championship run at MVRL.
Yeah, and we sort of signed off the broadcast with that news that you would actually, through all the chaos of last night, actually managed to put some points on Scott Patton, unless something changed in the post race. But comfortably uncomfortable. Is 12 points enough, you think, at Homestead?
I think it just gives me the benefit of, like, if I'm out of the stage points at least. Homestead is a very challenging track, especially since we're going to be running 200 miles next Thursday. So the stage break will actually be past the fuel point. So that'll make it interesting. So there's going to be some strategy. I think there's like a 2 to 3 lap window of it. So it's like you can save and then get your stage points, or you're just going to have to go balls to the wall and see what happens. So it's just going to be some strategy hopefully next Thursday. It's definitely going to be a challenge with a little bit of a 105-degree track. So got to make it hot at Homestead. Got to make it interesting, especially if it's going to go into the night. So, I'm just looking forward to it.
Amen to all of that. I'm excited for it as well. I know you've got a stressful week of worrying ahead of you, but I'm excited for next Thursday night. So we'll let you get to it. Go rest up. Go party hard after this one, and we'll talk to you again next Thursday.
All righty, bud. Take care.
That is the second win of the season for James Lehman in the Dirt 200 Special. That is his second special stage victory overall here at Bristol Dirt. One with the Pro 2 lights here on the oval config. That was a lot of fun in the first season of the special stage as well, when we brought the jumpy trucks here for decidedly no jumping. But a lot of fun here again tonight. Man, that was an awesome race. I'm going to be buzzing about that one for a while, as should anybody that was here hanging out with us this evening. Thank you to everybody that was in the chat all throughout the course of the night. Garrett Rainey, Zach Amspacker, Robin Monticek, Ant Meeperson, Ibanez Pat, Joshua Monticek, if I didn't say him already. Thanks to anybody else that was watching along, having themselves a good time here tonight at Bristol Dirt. Racing action next week here on Turn 200. Tuesday night, the Venom Truck Series Chase, round number 2 at Pocono, 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Next Thursday night, it is the championship race, the final Maximum Velocity Racing League Truck Series race on Turn 200. It will be at Homestead Miami Speedway. It'll be on the air at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Time. And the Dirt 200 Special continues next week at Lernerville at the usual 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. I hope to see you back here next Friday night. Thank you to Joshua Monticek at Dirt Track and Sim Racing League, and thank you to Matt Schlosser at Special Stage. Thank you to Race Control Garrett Rainey. That's all we got for you here tonight on behalf of all the drivers. Until we meet again from Bristol Motor Speedway, I'm Tommy Cook saying so long, and congratulations to James Lehman on a hard-fought second career victory in the Dirt 200 Special. Have a good night, everybody. This has been a live broadcast on Turn 200. Be sure to hit subscribe and hit the bell to get notified of when we go live next. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.